Hello, in this video we're going to see how we can find the frequency of each word in a sentence or a paragraph. Given this string with multiple line, we can use triple quotes to define a string with multiple line in Java. So we want to count how many times each word happens here. So for this we can use, for counting the frequency of an item, we can use a map data structure where we want to map a string to an integer to count the occurrence of each string. Okay, we want to ignore the case sensitivities. For example, this Java is a word, it's going to be equal to this Java, and we want to count it as 2 times. Okay, so for this we need to extract each word from this string. How can we do that? We have a method for this. If I call the string dot split method, this is going to take a string and split that based on a regular expression. So I want to split this sentence based on the white space to get each word. Okay, uh, split them based on the white space. So I'll say split based on the white space. Okay, and this function is going to give me an array of a string. If I mouse hover over that, we can see the definition of this function. It's going to return an array of a string, and I can catch it to a variable. I'll say a string array. I'm going to call this variable as words. It's going to give me all the words. Okay, I can loop through that and print each word. Let's quickly see what we get here. I'll say for a string word in words array, I'll just want to print the word. Okay, each word. Let's see what we get. So we get an array, we get Java, and exclamation mark is one of the, and all the words are splitted by the white space. Okay, so how we can count the occurrence of that? We can definitely define a map data structure, or we can use a stream API. So let's use a stream API. I want to make a stream out of this array. For that, I can use the utility class, the arrays utility class. I'll say Arrays.stream is going to accept an array of type T, an array of type integer or double or int. So I can directly call this split function here, or I can pass this words. Okay, so I just wanna, I'll say array.stream, and I just want to pass my array here. Let me delete this. Once I got a split that, I got a stream of words here, a stream of strings. I can collect them back to a map data structure or group them by their occurrence. I'll say I'm gonna call dot collect, and I'm calling collectors, which is a utility class, dot grouping by. Okay, it's going to group each word by its occurrence, by its number of count. If I press Control, if I press enter here and I want to press Control P here, I can see this grouping by is accepting a classifier based on what we want to group them. I'll say just take a word, each word in this one, and just take the word and put it as a key. Don't do anything with that. Or maybe I can call the two lowercase, change it to lowercase and put it as a key. And for the values, I can put a downstream. Here I just want to call the counting. Collectors.counting is going to count the occurrence of each word in the sentence. I'll say collectors.counting. Okay, so now if I put a semicolon here, it's going to it's going to return a map of a string with a long, which shows the number of times each word happens. So now let's quickly print what we get. Okay, I'm gonna call it frequency, not collect. This frequency of each word. I'll say frequency dot for each, and it's going to accept a by consumer. I'll say key value, and just want to consume that and print it. Okay, I'll say key plus happens this time value. Okay, let's see what we get. Now we can see off happens one time, u happens one time. Exercise, and happens, but we can see that it's not maintaining the insertion order. Here we have Java first, then is, because by default it's going to return a hash map, and we know a hash map doesn't maintain the insertion order. In order to maintain the insertion order, what we can do is maybe we can store the result in a link hash map. Maybe we can replace this with a lambda function. We can just pass a reference to a string to lower here. But here, if I press enter and press Control P, we have the downstream and classifier. Here I can mention in what type of map I want to collect the result. I want to collect that in a link hash map. Since we know link hash map, it stores or preserve the insertion order. So I'm gonna call the link hash map and pass a reference to its constructor, or call the constructor of a link hash map to create an object, a new object of the link hash map. Okay, just put a comma here. Now it's going to return a link hash map, and it will preserve the insertion order. Java. Let's see. Just want to put some white space here. If we can see here, this Java is treated differently, and for is we have this semicolon, and some words has dot here, but we don't want that. For example, this one is treated differently. Okay, we don't want that. What we can do is we just want only the words, not the exclamation mark or question mark or other non-character values. Okay, for that we can pass another regular expression here, and we want to this time split them based on the word character. So for that I can pass \w and plus. Okay, to escape this backslash I can put another backslash. So what it basically does, it is going to accept only the letters, the digits, and the white space and the underscore. Okay, if I copy this one and paste it here, so this regular expression is going to match all the letters from A to Z, small a to Z, and big A to Z, or capital A to Z, and also letters, numbers from 0 to 9, and an underscore. So the plus means one or more occurrence of this is going to be matched. Okay, so for this Java, J is okay because J is in this range, A is okay, A is in that range, VA is okay, and also this exclamation will be excluded. Okay, so it's going to split that based on this regular expression. Okay, 0 or more occurrence of this range, small letter, all small letters, all big letters, and all digits from 0 to 9, and the underscore. Okay, now if I run that, now we can see this Java, it's going to exclude that exclamation mark, and we can see Java happens 3 times because this Java, and we change that all to lowercase, and this Java. Okay, so this way we can find the frequency of each word in a sentence or in a paragraph, and we can count that. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.